Everybody. So I was supposed to upload a video today, and I was saying in my live stream earlier, I have no idea what I want to upload. I've got a few small ideas, but nothing that hits me as being substantial enough that I'm ready to do a whole video on it. And some other things for some ideas I do have that are very good, haven't lined up yet. But while I was doing my workout, my pull day today, it occurred to me that I've got another quick few tips for the total gym. Now I'm building my home gym back up. You'll probably see in the background I've got different things around me that are slowly being built, but focusing on the total gym, I'm going to show you something that I had mentioned before, I think in a live stream and maybe in a post somewhere, but I'm actually going to show you one very simple thing that I've done to my total gym that for me adds a ton of variety and it really improves the workout. All right, so on my total gym, we of course have the typical wing attachment that clips into these pinholes here. And the wing attachment is incredibly versatile. I use it all the time. I love the wing attachment. But a lot of the time, you want to do different exercises that the wing attachment is not ideal for, or you want to just do the same exercises, but you want to alter them so you target different muscles. So I've taken the ab crunch bars. These are for the ab crunch. They typically go right here, and there's the padding on top for your elbows. I popped the padding off since it's released with a pin, and instead of putting it up here, I flip them around so that the handles are pointing outward. Now once you've got your cables out of the way, the handles are in, this creates a wedge. So a lot of you have seen my barbell attachment. This is from an old Bowflex. It's just a nice strong rod. You can use anything. I like this because it already has these attached and it already has some foam, which in this case comes in handy because not only does it help grab here because it sinks into the foam, but I can also look at where these the foam ends and I can naturally center it. So I just drop this in, and it just so happens that the edge of the foam should line up with the inside of the rail on both sides, so I know it's centered and balanced. Now with the bar here, I can do a wide variety of things, which I'm going to show you now. I'm actually going to do a few reps of each exercise just to kind of show you what they look like. All right, so I can actually grab all the way out and do ultra wide pull-ups. I can also obviously grab in, do moderate grip pull-ups. Now I call these moderate grip, but this is actually still wider than what you can do with the typical wing attachment. You can also do, obviously, narrow pull-ups, but what I like to do is when I'm grabbing narrow, I actually flip my hands around and I do more of a traditional chin-up. This, with the hands flipped around, really helps force my elbows to point towards the floor. With my elbows pointing forward in front of me and towards the floor, it really changes the angle at which your upper arm is being pulled towards the body and completely changes the muscles that are being worked in your back. And another thing I like to do is I can actually take my handles right here. I can pop them right off the cables. And I don't even use the eyelet. I just use the cloth handle itself. And I can loop it right over and hang it on there like a hanger. Now with that hanging there, I can actually do neutral grip pull-ups, just like you do with a specialty bar at the gym. Now I have to adjust my body a little bit lower on the glide board since my hands are now closer to the floor. They've dropped down about 6 inches. But once I'm adjusted on the slide board appropriately, I can do my neutral grip pull-ups. And obviously, this is not just for a moderate width. I could go all the way out to the edges and still use my neutral grip. Or I could bring it in. Now my cables are getting in the way, but yeah, with it all the way in, and the advantage of using these also is that if let's say I'm at a moderate grip and I'm doing my neutral grip pull-ups, during the set or very quickly between sets, I can actually twist. Since it's a cloth handle, I can use my forearm muscles and force my thumbs in to angle my elbows out, or rotate and supinate my biceps to angle my elbows in, or go back to a neutral grip. So I can flare the elbows out, which will rotate the handles in, and I can do a traditional pull-up. Then I can let my hands go neutral and do a neutral grip, and then I can supinate the biceps and do more of a chin-up. Now, even if you don't have this barbell attachment that I have, which it seems to be a big thing I get a lot from a lot of my viewers, is they're wanting to know where I got this specific barbell attachment. And it seems like no matter how many times I type out the answer in an actual comment, or I refer people to my videos where I talk about it, multiple videos, or I answer it directly in a live stream, or I respond to an email, no matter how many times I've repeated this, there always seems to be somebody new to the channel, or somebody who didn't want to read the other comments or watch the videos, and they ask me again, hey, where'd you get that barbell attachment? So say it again, maybe the 12th time is the charm, but this came from an old Bowflex. I've heard it referred to as different things, but the best Google search results I've found is when you call it a Bowflex squat bar. But again, you can use any rod and just loop it through the handles, or you can make your own. I've had several viewers take, whether it's wooden poles or like plumbing pipe, and they'll just drill a hole through it and put an eyelet, and that works great as well. But even if you don't have that and you're just trying to do this immediately with what you have on hand, you can actually use the standard weight bar attachment that comes with your Total Gym. I still have the centering pin on here. This is actually so I can slide it into the slide board and it naturally centers it, but you can take the same rod that comes with your Total Gym, and it's not quite as wide, so you're not going to get the same ultra wide grip, but it doesn't have the foam on here, so it might slide a little bit. You might add duct tape or whatever you want, but if you're not doing anything crazy and you're not pulling back and forth and encouraging it to slide, if it's just downward pressure, it'll hold just fine. And unfortunately, again, because out of the box it's slippery, the cloth handles will also slide pretty easily. So if you go out wide, they'll probably very slowly work their ways in, closer to shoulder width apart. But you could take any post, this being an example, any steel post, any pole, any wooden rod, anything that's weight bearing that you have, even an actual free weight barbell, if you've got weight plates, will go on here and it'll work. But just to demonstrate, even though it's not ideal, you can still grab the rod and you can still do your pull-ups, and it'll give you a wider grip than what you do with the wing attachment. You just have to be careful about, making sure your feet are planted and then letting go at the same time, because if your feet are not on the ground and then you let go of one side, it'll pop right off. It doesn't wedge and grab the way my barbell does. All right, guys, I've already finished my workout. I was just showing you that stuff real fast. I've got to run downstairs, get some protein in me real fast. I forgot to bring it up with me. I need to make sure I'm plenty hydrated. I've been sweating a ton up here. As you can see, I got a cheap little window AC to go in that window. Unfortunately, I just bought the cheapest one I could find that was within driving distance, and it turns out that there's no Freon in it. So I'm gonna have to, hopefully there's no leak in the system and I can actually put more Freon in there and it'll hold and get me cooled down up here. But anyway, until next time, hope that was helpful, and I don't know, let me know if it works for you.
It's all just like